Hello, this is Misty Mayhem with Mayhem News. I'm actually going to be having a conference call coming up, everyone. And if you're interested, you could go ahead and click the link. I have a Patreon. I have a brand new Patreon account. So if you donate, you will be invited to the conference call. This is going to be a very interesting conference call. This conference call is going to be about the imagery and symbolism in Handmaid's Tales and how it also correlates with Ohio. But not only that, but how it's not only about sexism, but racism. And how they are specifically targeting the reproductive rights of white women. Okay. I know you're probably thinking, how does she put all this together? Where is she coming from? Okay. So, I like to, when I watch a series, when I watch a series like Handmaid's Tale, this is a very serious series. It has a lot of symbolism in there, and you can learn a lot. So, if you don't know the show that I'm talking about, basically, there's a place called Gilead, and they're taking total control over the women's reproductive rights. Okay? So it's basically like that, okay? And these women are forced to have children through rape. And they're under a so-called Christian nation. Okay? Okay. First of all, Offred is the main character. She's a Caucasian lady. She's married to a black man, and she has a biracial daughter. She's friends with a lady named Myra, who is a black lady, and she's a lesbian. Okay, so we could see she has two black associations. She's white, she has a black husband, she has a biracial daughter, and she has a black friend. Interesting enough, she's the one out of all of them that's being used for her reproductive powers. All right? Long story short, I'm not going to get too deep into it because we're going to get into it actually on my conference call. If you are interested, when you come on the conference call, I'm going to be talking, but I'm also going to open up the line so that you could give me your opinion on the show if you've watched the show, or even your opinion altogether about anything to do with reproductive rights, sexism, race, what have you, okay? And the conference calls usually lasts from an hour to 2 hours, so I just love to talk to different people, discuss, there could be debates, whatever. But anyways, Offred, she's being used for her reproductive powers. She is actually, quote unquote, owned by the commander. Okay, there's a commander in the show. He's basically forcing her to have sex. He's trying to get her pregnant. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the interesting thing is this. Myra, she actually used to live in the commander's house before Offred, and she's never gotten pregnant. Okay, another thing about Myra is she was able to escape. First, before she escaped, she became a Jezebel. That's a group of women who are prostitutes. Okay, so the interesting thing is this black woman was not used for breeding. She was just treated like a whore, okay? But then she got her freedom in Canada, all right? Her husband, Offred's husband, has his freedom as well in Canada. Her little daughter is somewhere in Gilead being reared, and if she stays there and becomes an adult, I'm sure they're going to treat her the same way they treated her mother, okay? Okay, so Offred is forced to have, think about it, Offred chose to have a biracial child. She did that by choice. But she was forced to have a white baby. You see that? Interesting. Now, if you're unaware of this, the numbers of Caucasian people, their birth rates are actually going down. And this is occurring worldwide. not just in the United States, but in other places too, in Europe. So let's say like in Italy, they're trying to encourage couples to have children by, offering them land, houses, money, things of this nature. So they're trying to get them to reproduce. But interesting enough, in Ohio, they're being barbaric by trying to force the women to have children. As you know, maybe you don't know, they're trying to get rid of abortion in Ohio after 6 weeks. And also they're trying to have a law that forces women to have children. Okay. And there's actually a woman behind it. Her name is Mrs. Hagan. I guess she's one of the politicians or the legislators there. So, very interesting stuff. Think about it. Yeah, think about it. In Ohio, they're trying to force women to have children. And in The Handmaid's Tales, they're trying to force women to have children. But they're not just trying to force any women to have children. Okay? They're trying to force, they're going after the Caucasian women. It's because the birth rates are low. They're not going after black women. They're not going after Mexican women. They're not going after Asian women. Okay? Everyone knows that Asians reproduce to a high degree. Except, I guess the exception is the Japanese. Blacks reproduce at a high degree. Mexicans reproduce at a high degree. White population is decreasing. And some of these people are nervous about it. So it's not just about sexism. It's not just about targeting women. It's about race as well. It's targeting white women. Okay? So if you're a white woman in Ohio, you need to be on alert what's going on. Think about it. Okay? In the show Handmaid's Tales, the white woman was used and kept for breeding. The black woman was able to escape. She was also considered a lesbian. They're not really interested in her reproductive organs. She was used as a prostitute. Okay. And so this white woman is here, and she was impregnated. And it's funny because she wasn't even impregnated by the commander. The commander has a low sperm count. She was impregnated by the eye that resides in the house. If you don't watch that show, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But anyways, so that's what I'm basically saying. There's a correlation between Handmaid's Tales, what's going on in Ohio, sexism, and race. I could get deeper into this, but I'm going to actually save the rest of my comments for the conference call. So if you're interested in the conference call, just sign up below. Like if you send in a donation to my Patreon account, you will be sent information about when the conference call is going to be, where it is, and I could actually put the date and time in everything, okay, at the bottom. All right, so please stay tuned. I like to do this where we have a chat and chill. I like to watch various episodes of different series, even books, and we get to discuss. You get to come on. What I like to do is we do it over the phone. I talk. I give a description of what's going on and the imagery. I describe it. It takes between an hour, 2 hours. And then I'm going to open up the lines so that you all can talk. So altogether, it's going to be an hour, between an hour and 2 hours, okay? Because I like to discuss imagery. And I also like to hear other people's opinions. You could debate. You could just, discuss the show, discuss what's going on in Ohio. Discuss everything. Oh. And this is an interesting thing. If you are a white woman in Ohio and you're a lesbian, you're luckier than the women who have sex with men. I'm just being honest. Okay? I'm not trying to promote any agenda or anything like that. I'm just a strong arm, straight shooter, straight thinking, logical Virgo. And I just like to use my head and figure out what's really going on. What I'm saying is, if you're a lesbian, you're basically in a better position than those women who have sex with men, because basically there's no chance of you having sex, or there's no chance of you getting pregnant if you're having sex with another woman. Okay? So, I think what they're doing over in Ohio is going to push some women to lesbianism. I don't know. But, see, but anyways, that's neither here nor there, but we could discuss various things on the conference call. So please click the link below, subscribe, share, comment. If you send a donation, you're going to be in, okay? You're going to be able to listen in to the conference call. You're going to be able to talk in the conference call. And we're going to have fun, okay? Thanks for listening, and have a great night. This is Misty Mayhem.